Hi, Senn TV viewers. We are happy to present to you an election special. Now, just so you know, we filmed this prior to the election on Monday, and we'll be showing it to you on Wednesday. So we're not really sure what the in-between is going to look like, but we hope everyone who was able to get out and vote and have their voices heard. We look forward to discussing the election in future episodes, and we hope you enjoy the various perspectives that we present to you from our school. Thank you very much.
So, the elections are coming up, and this is going to be a big one, especially considering what happened past 8 months or 10 months. And one of the biggest issues which is concerning to me is healthcare, especially the ongoing pandemic and the numbers are rising up again. So healthcare is one of the biggest issues which is concerning me, and I mean obviously like a lot is at stake over here. So what do you guys think is at stake over here? Please let us know in the comments below.
This election, how exciting. So many people that haven't been able to vote for different circumstances are able to vote this year with the early voting and the mail-in ballots. So they're able to exercise their rights as an American citizen, and that's so exciting. It's also so important because there's so many things at stake. There's foreign policy, there's the Middle East peace, the oil industry, women's rights, the economy, all of those things are at stake. So the whole country is watching. Not only that, the whole world is watching. And it's like Super Bowl night times 10. Everyone's glued to their TV on election night. Everyone's waiting, everyone's watching because we all voted. So we all have a stake in the game or a part of the game. So it's really exciting. It's going to be stressful because of what's at stake. And it's not just what's at stake for us, it's what's at stake for the world. I also think that the local election's important, so I had to do my own due diligence on reading and researching the fair tax amendment so I could determine if that was something that would be good for our community.
What's at stake during this election? I feel like it's a very good idea that everywhere is closing, in my opinion, and I'm really glad everywhere is closing because I feel like everybody's gonna go crazy since there's like, it's kind of like half of the people are on one side, half of the people are on another side, and I feel like we just, for our like community, our city, states, you know, everything in general, we just need a big change because for the past 4 years it's been a little soft, I'll say. So we need somebody that's like strong enough to like really change and, you know, set their foot down and like whatever it says goes, instead of like saying some things and like it doesn't really happen sometimes. So yeah, I hope there's a very good change, and I hope there's like, I hope it works out.
Hey Bulldogs, hey Senn TV, it's me, Coach Kenny, coming to you live from my house, my condo. And what's important for me this election year is not only women's rights, but LGBTQ rights, as me and my family are expecting twin boys this February. Alright? And with that, I want to know what are my rights as parents? Alright? Is my marriage still going to exist after this election? I hope so.
Hi, I'm Skylar and I'm 17 years old. My family and I are Mexicans and we are proud to be Mexicans. And this year, the 2020 election, it's going to be really scary if Trump runs the office again. Even though Biden isn't really a strong candidate either, I feel like he will be a pretty decent president. I have my friend Alfredo Mendoza and one of my teachers, Mr. Fingado, to also share what's at stake for them.
Hi, my name is Alfredo Mendoza, and I'm 17 years old. I'm a Mexican and Filipino person, human being. Yeah. My parents came here to the United States exactly 20 years ago. Well, turning 21 years ago in December, as immigrants. As of now, as you may know, the president elections are happening right now against Joe Biden and Donald Trump. If Donald Trump wins, this is my opinion, I'm saying that it could be worse than what has happened 4 years ago. Donald Trump saying that he's not racist. He is a supportive man, which is exactly false information that has happened, and people may know, people may back up, people could back up of what he has done and what what problems he has done to all of us here and has impacted us. If Joe Biden wins, I feel like he could change of what has happened. He could heal of what has happened as well, or help us immigrants, or help all of us as a community to be a better than who we are. Help us students achieve our goal and give us as much support as we need, or give us immigrants as much support as we need as well, for us to stay here and live a better life than we had before. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I hope, well, for me opinion, hope Biden wins. And yeah.
Mr. Fingato, and what is at stake for me in this election season, in this election year? As a history teacher, I often think about how we will study a certain period in our nation's history. And as a father, I think about how my kids will study a certain period in our nation's history. This year has been very, very challenging for many reasons, with the COVID-19 pandemic and the fact that we're in the most important presidential election in our nation's history, maybe other than 1860. And when we look back on this year, I want my kids to know that I did everything I could do to fight for the livelihood of our nation and for the future of our democracy. So what is at stake? Everything is at stake in this election. So if you haven't voted and you can vote, please make sure you vote. Our nation's livelihood, our democracy is at stake.
And what's at stake for me at this election is the lack of representation. The lack of representation is at stake for me because there's not a lot of people that look like me in office, and also the equality in office and certain things that need to be done will not be done for my community, as in the Black community and, you know, Black and brown people and minorities in this country.
The 2020 election is important on so many levels for me, my family, and my community. At the local level, we need judges that support reforming the system and reducing what counts as criminal under petty circumstances. I want my community to embrace social change, like Black Lives Matter, and not just put up a poster to escape looting, but be a place that feels safe because it's an integral part of the community. At the state level, I want continued vigilance regarding public health and a government that decreases or abolishes minimums for offenses and balances a budget that helps the working class. The national level, I obviously want civility. To treat opposing ideological viewpoints as opportunities to compromise rather than to attack. And I certainly want a president that doesn't break the various fact-checking organizations due to their exhaustion.
This election, there is a lot that is at stake. Human rights, humans' lives, children's lives, families' lives, immigration, LGBTQ, BIPOC is at stake. The different communities, the different ways they're going to be impacted by this election. All of that is at stake. The different broken systems that we already have. Is it going to be fixed? Is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse? Or is it going to stay exactly where it is right now? That's a lot. And there is a lot more that is at stake.
And
my opinion, like, I feel like whoever wins the election, like, we're gonna be screwed regardless. Because if Biden wins, like, Trump supporters are already crazy enough as it is, and they will not take a will if he does win. Trump literally admitted himself that he will not pass down power peacefully if he doesn't get reelected because, you know, he's childish. If Trump wins, like, that's just pretty self-explanatory, because what has that man done in the 4 years of his presidency that was relevant? This man downplayed coronavirus, he's racist, he's a misogynist, he's homophobic. Like, do we really need to talk about this? Let's be real. I've never really been into politics, but a lot has changed in the last 4 years, especially now with RGB gone and Amy Coney Barrett being one of the new Supreme Court justices. A lot's at stake now. It's not even really about politics anymore, it's about basic human rights, and if you genuinely disagree with me, you do not understand the privilege you have. The main thing that angers me the most is the fact that my rights as a woman may be taken away. Like, it's just not fair at all to me. Like, before, politics to me were like, oh, like, are we gonna legalize marijuana, that type of stuff. Now it's just kind of like, why shouldn't I be able to marry the person I love because they're the same gender as me? Why shouldn't I have access to contraceptives or get an abortion because that's your religious belief? It makes no sense to me. I honestly could talk about this all day and speak on how messed up our country is, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and that's just the reality of it. I knew America sucked, but like, wow.
Hi, my thoughts on this election is that I'm worried, and I feel like me, along with many others, we know that the outcome is not going to be something that we want. A lot of our rights are in jeopardy, and it's really scary to think about just because it's a lot of suspense, and I'm just really hoping for the best for everyone I care about and everyone in general.
Hi guys, my name is Tiffany, and something about this election is that I'm kind of concerned on who wins and who doesn't, and more so I'm concerned about the outcome and the aftermath of this election, and I'm hoping that in case if anything goes bad, I just want you guys to be safe, and yeah.
Hey everybody, Miss Walker here. I know that this election is intense, and personally it's one of the most intense that I've ever seen in my life. As a daughter of many politicians, and now as an English teacher who values perspective, I want to encourage all of you to make sure that you are seeing the perspectives of what is going on in this world and understanding the world that surrounds you. Above all else, this week and forever, make sure that you're spreading love to those around you. You never know who needs it.
What's up, guys? I'm here to talk about this year's election. So we have Trump and we have Biden. This is directly going to affect me, not really in a great way. I'm a Christian, so it will not impact my faith in any way. But yeah, so I know it will definitely affect other families. My heart goes out to you. My prayers go out to you. No matter the outcome of this election, you know, there's definitely controversy on if there's going to be protests or not, no matter who wins from the Democratic Republican side. So yeah, I'm personally not politically minded, so I can't really speak for anyone else, you know, within this society that we live in. But I do believe that Biden will be the better president for our country. I feel like he's more respectable and has better views on certain things. So yeah, so like I said, I'm not very politically minded, but those are just my thoughts on this year's election. Thank you for having me.
So what I think about the election is that if Trump wins, he's going to reopen school. And if Joe Biden wins, he's not going to reopen school, which is good to stop the spread of coronavirus. But if Trump opens school, that's gonna like make the coronavirus spread faster. And if Trump also wins, people don't like him, which is gonna make like people rage and stuff and loot more stores like they did. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm a senior, and I'm here to talk about the election that's happening tomorrow. I want to say that tomorrow's election is going to be very important, and if you can vote, or if you know someone that can vote, please let them know, go out and vote, because it's very important. I also wanted to say that tomorrow is not just the election for the president, there's also various amount of jobs that are up for office tomorrow, and that's very important as well. And I lastly want to say thank you to the poll workers and everybody that's making this year's election happen, because it's very tough this year, and that's all. Thank you.
I think it's really important that we come together to make sure that equality and equity are being split fairly among all of us, and that we aren't being discriminated based off of the prejudgments that people get off of first appearance. And I hope, since I'm not able to vote, that my fellow Gen Z members will make the right choice on who's going to benefit us. And I hope that the adults are thinking about their children's and their students and their younger people in their lives' futures, because this affects us a lot. There's a lot of new things coming in this generation, from this generation, that we need to think about, and think about what's going to keep the peace and what's going to keep us moving forward, instead of stopping and having to go and fix a bunch of problems that could have been solved if we would have just made the right choice in the beginning.
I love teaching American history. I've loved teaching all of it, the ugly stuff, the good stuff. But this election is what shakes my faith in the United States. Are we a country of hope, of opportunity, of equality, of inclusion? Or are we what the country has historically been? A country of exclusion, denial, restriction? I choose to believe that this is a country of inclusion, of equality. I have hope of what this election means. But I'm terrified of what it means also. And it's getting harder for me to teach U.S. history as a result of the movement that became in 2016.
What could be at risk for me during this presidential election is if Trump were to be reelected, a lot could be at risk for me, especially someone who's young and having a baby. What he's planning to do is fully defund Planned Parenthood, which is an essential resource for someone like me, because they provide resources such as abortion or parenting classes, which is I pretty much need, and they provide gynecology care for a lot of women who can't afford much. And he's also planning to take away health care in lower income areas. So if I cannot afford the health care I need for me and my son, then he can't get the proper health care and he can't be as healthy, and neither can I. There's a lot more that could be at risk, but that's what's more important for me.